There we are. We are live. What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Hey, it's Wednesday night. It's time for Hits and Heels. And today, I have a great guest for you guys today because number one, first of all, I'm Coach Terry Bryant. So y'all know that I am an assistant coach with the Derby City Dynamite, the only women's tackle football team in the state of Kentucky. And I'm also a football coach in middle school in Kentucky, one of the only females that are here in Kentucky. And so today I have a special guest, Mrs. Wyn Flato. She is the Women's Football Alliance Director of Operations. She's also an owner of a team, Mile High, out of Colorado. And so our season kicks off this Saturday across the nation. You know, we have 63 teams. We have 3,500 players. And Wyn, welcome to Hits and Heels. And give us your story, how you got interested in football. Start from the beginning. How you got interested in football and how you became the WFA Director of Operations.
Sure. Hey, Hits and Heels. Thanks for having me on, y'all. I appreciate it. Well, I am from Houston, Texas. You know, football is everything in the great state of Texas. You know, you're born and raised to play. And so football has always been a passion for me. Clearly started with the Houston Oilers being my favorite team ever. Earl Campbell, one of my favorite players to ever step on the field. So, I love football. I love sports. Volleyball and softball were my jam, but football was a passion. When I was younger, clearly I couldn't play. It wasn't an option for me to be able to play. So I was a fan. I was a super fan, and have followed football all my life. In Houston, they had the Houston Energy, which was around, back in the day. They've been around 20 plus years, going on 25, close to. So, I was familiar with the Energy and had friends that played on the Energy, from back in the day, from the late 90s. And when I moved here to Colorado, to Denver from Texas, I knew that I wanted to be involved, and I knew that I wanted to, make something happen, shake something out. I'm definitely a mover and a shaker. And so I looked it up back in 2012. I looked it up in January, and by February, I was part of a team. And then I would say maybe 2 months into that, I took the team over and had it since 2012 and just grew. And, the goal was to grow the team, grow the sport, and grow the knowledge here in Colorado that women's football is an option, because people didn't know. People didn't even know that there was a women's team here in Colorado. It was non-existent. And it, when I took over, there was maybe 15, 16 girls on the team. Uniforms didn't match. It was insane. It was a hot mess. Let's just say that. And took it from there and just grew.
So is Mile High the only women's tackle football team in Colorado?
Oh no, there's several teams in Colorado. Mile High is the only WFA team, and they are the only team to win a national championship. They are the Colorado team. I don't know. I don't care about those other teams.
Let's go. The only Colorado team.
I'm happy. I'm happy that there's other teams and there's women, and that the sport is big enough to where we can have more than one team.
Absolutely. So how long did you play? Did you play?
I have actually not played. I can't play. Okay. It's not that I don't want to play. Right. I've got 5 bulging discs, and my nerves are all exposed. Basically, I was told if I get hit, plan on staying down for forever, that I probably wouldn't walk. So this is the next best thing.
Okay. So when you took over the team, what level were you still at a new team, or because obviously we start off, explain to the people the levels that we have. If you start off as a new team, you start off, it's like a rookie team. then you go D3, D2, and then you go to the pro team, correct? What level was Mile High?
So absolutely. So back then it was a little different. The levels were a little different. We didn't have as many teams, back in 2011, 2012 as we do now. But what I can tell you is when a team is interested in joining the WFA, basically I get that information, I get their interest form that they submit. And then from there, I start vetting them, going through the process, taking a look at, their market. Are they in an area that can sustain a team? Are they going to be able to get players? Are they going to be able to fund their season? Do they have a plan in place for sponsorship, for fields, for, all those types of things? Do you have your ducks in a row? And if you do not have your ducks in a row, there's a possibility that, thank you, we appreciate you for applying. This is not the time. Or, hey, I see something. Let's work together and let me see if I can coach you up and get you prepared for the next season. If not, we'll work on the next. But there are several questions and hoops that they have to jump through to be vetted to join the WFA.
Okay, and the WFA is the largest,
absolutely, in the world, largest
in the world.
Women's tackle football league in the world.
Mm-hmm. And you all also are the ones that started the international. Is that part of the WFA as well?
That is correct. We started that out as Team United. I was involved in that as well. And when we started, it was simple. We were going to play in Canada, and give them some exposure and try and start building. And it's just grown tremendously since then. Jeff King has been taking care of WFA International. He's done a phenomenal job at that, growing the sport and getting other countries involved. We've got, 6, 7, maybe even more countries that are just down. They want to play football. They want to learn the game. And our players and our coaches have been amazing. They've been able to go to other countries. They take supplies. They take jerseys. They take gear. They coach. They teach. They ultimately play a game. But the purpose of this mission is to grow the sport in other countries, and especially those that are a little less fortunate. We're there to help them, and we're there to guide them and mentor them. It's been an amazing journey, that's for sure.
I love it. I've been able to watch several of my players that have played international and be team captains and play an integral part in that. And I enjoy hearing their stories about that. I want to shout out Michael Burney. I love, hey, Michael Burney, you just said, he said howdy. I love how he commentates and gives us an update every week on the teams. His writing is absolutely impeccable when it comes to breaking down the teams. And hey, Coach Dirty, I see you. She says she's ready. Coach Dirty.
That's my dog, Dirty. Hey, Dirty, how you doing, boo? Yeah. And then Burmy is he's an amazing mind, football mind. He's brilliant, and he loves the WFA. What more can I say?
Yeah, I love you. And we had Coach Dirty on as a guest a couple of weeks ago, and we'll be following up with her. We was shouting out her Atlanta team. And of course, my daughter's gonna come on and say, "Hey, mommy, hey, baby." So,
Dirty's also WFA International. She's been coaching WFA International.
Yeah, she was the DC for the international team. Yeah, we talked about that when we had her on, and definitely appreciate her. And I'm looking forward to her team. They're coming to Kentucky on I think June the 9th. I think is when I'll get to see her in person. I think the first time I got a chance to meet you. On championship weekend, we went and kind of fellowshipped a little bit. And that was my first time getting a chance to meet you in person. And that was my first time being able to, just kind of see the bigger picture as far as the championship weekend that happened. And you have Mr. Brian Sweeney, I think he does his road to Canton. And every week I was kind of hoping that he would kind of come on and give a shout out. And Brian, if you're out there, go ahead. And if you have a link, I would love for you to share that. Tell me more about Championship Weekend. When is that, and how can people be a part of that?
Oh, sure. So, championship weekend is going to be in Canton again this year at the NFL Hall of Fame Stadium, Tom Benson. We're really excited about that. We've got some great things coming up. I'm clearly excited to see who's going to be in the championship this year. I got my own little predictions about what's going to happen. But I'm really excited. It's going to be pretty epic. We're going to add some things for players, some new events, some things going on. So it's going to be a jam-packed, fun weekend. I'm excited. End of July.
The 27th is the weekend of the 27th. Is that correct?
Yeah, I am. I'm going to give you exact dates. So so the 26th, 27th, and 28th.
Okay. Now this weekend is kickoff. Period.
Mm-hmm.
Period. So, of course, we'll, for those of you that know me, I will be in my team, the Derby City Dynamite will be in Grand Rapids this weekend. I think we play at 5. And of course, if you guys go to my page, I will definitely share where we will be. And if there's anybody on my team that wants to drop that in the chat, go ahead and feel free to drop that. So what all do we have to look forward to this weekend? So, do you have drop the link. If somebody is watching, drop the link so that you guys can go find a team near you. Who do y'all play this weekend?
The Blaze are playing the Nevada Storm in Nevada.
Ooh, you guys are traveling as well.
It will be a televised game, FTF and everything. So it's going to be a good game. The Blaze and Nevada always have a good time. It's always a good game. 2 pro teams. They'll have a blast. It'll be high octane. That's for sure.
So do you guys have a rival team? Maha, do you guys have a rival?
There's quite a few. Yeah, we all got rivals. We've all, I'm not going to call them out. That's for sure. Okay, but I can tell you this. I promise you, there are some definite rivals out there. That's for sure.
Okay. Oh,
Bernie will probably throw some of that stuff out at you.
Okay, sounds good. So yeah, Bernie, he just said he just posted his game. Because I've been waiting on the DCD Grand Rapids preview, Bernie. You hadn't posted it yet, so I'm looking forward to that. And so Coach Dirty has a question. What are your favorite pair of game day kicks?
So I'm a sneakerhead. I got to be honest. Dirty knows that about me. Golly. I think my favorite pair this season, Dirty, is going to be a brand new pair. I haven't even busted them out yet. A brand new pair of laceless Jordans that are a red, black, and white with a little, bedazzling, something like that. That's what I'm thinking for now.
I love it. So over the 12 years, what has been one of your most memorable moments that has just really been a big highlight to your career, whether it's either as an owner or as the director of operations? Do you have any maybe a top 3 moments over the years?
Okay, so yeah, as an owner. Recently, there's nothing that's ever going to trump holding up that championship trophy.
Absolutely. Okay? Yes, ma'am.
We worked our butts off, and I say this, and Thelma will tell you, for those of you listening, Thelma, the owner of the Derby City Dynamite and their center. She's also a board member and one of my best friends. And I'll tell you, in that game, I've played big games and I've been nervous and, man, we ain't gonna lose and, all that kind of stuff. Right. And, I had a talk with Thelma prior to that game. We talked, and of course, and, if I was going to lose to anyone on this planet, if I was going to have a horrible game, if anything like that was going to go down, the one person that I would be okay with that happening with was going to be Derby. just because, I'm friends with a lot of the players on that team and all that. So it was a perfect moment for me to get to celebrate that moment with, a best friend and with a team that I genuinely care about, Derby and then the Blaze. It was a perfect night, that part. Another thing that has stood out to me, and that I'll never forget, is a young man who reached out to me. We were at the Children's Hospital signing autographs, and they brought us in. We're in the lobby, and this little boy comes up who was in the hospital. He was a patient, and he was so excited to meet us. You could have said we were Michael Jordan and LeBron and Kobe, right? He thought we were everything. And he was crying. He was so grateful and so sick. And, we loved on him and everything. And I gave him my number and I told him, man, I'd love to have you at a game, all this stuff. He calls me and I make it happen. He shows up to the game with his family, and they live about an hour and a half away, and they drove out, and I made sure that this game was going to be special for him. So at halftime, we brought him down on the field. We recognized him. We gave him a plaque. We gave him a shirt. We told him how much he meant to us, and he just bawled his eyes out. His whole family, him, everyone was crying. And he looked at me and he said, I'll never forget. He said, well, now I've got more than one reason to live.
Oh my God.
And, something like that just sticks with you forever. Like you don't forget that kind of moment. And then lastly, I would say, another important day was a day that we honored a police officer that had been shot, in front of our stadium, basically. And his family came out, and we had a ball made with his badge on it, and all of that. And we presented his family with the ball, and everybody loved on his family. The news came out, all the officers came, and it was just a great night to watch football, be able to bring a community together, that kind of has been rough, with police and the community. Absolutely. And everything. And this particular night, it didn't matter. Color didn't matter. The job didn't matter. The only thing that mattered is there was a family standing on our field that had just lost their son, and Absolutely. We were there to support them. So things like that mean everything to me.
Oh, I absolutely love it. So where have you been able to impact? Okay, so last year I really loved that you guys had did a camp with the girls, like a flag. How are we on that as far as maybe spearheading? Are there lots of teams maybe spearheading and collaborating with girls flag now that it's starting to kind of catch on a little bit more? How are we on that?
Well, I hope so. I hope that's a swift kick in the rear to be like, hey man, y'all need to focus up, pay attention. Football is growing and it's here, and we need to get on that train and keep it pushing forward. For the WFA, that's one of my pride and joys is the WFA Future Program, where basically we're teaching young girls that yes, you're playing football now in elementary school and junior high. This is all new, right? And now girls are playing in high school. But the great news is you can play in college and you can get scholarships now. So it's really important to me and to the WFA that we teach young girls that, number one, you can play.
Absolutely.
I'll say that again. Young girls, youth, you can play tackle football. Don't care what anybody says to you. I'm telling you, you can play women's tackle football. Stick with it. Hang in there. After high school, come see us in the WFA. We will mentor you, teach you, groom you, all of that prior to. Youth can link up with a team in their city, and they can go and participate and be a part of that team. One of my standout players, Leilani Kamal, one of the best backers I've seen. She is a beast on the field. And she practiced with us since she was a kid in junior high, elementary, and then finally played for us. And now she's on a full ride scholarship, playing football. Her dream has been achieved. So it's a big topic, and it's on our hearts and it's on our mind, and we're pushing forward with it.
Yeah, so we have one school here in Kentucky. It's called Campbellsville College or Campbellsville University or something. It's a D3, and they're the only school in Kentucky that has girls flag football or women's flag football. And I did reach out to the coach, and I told him, I said, I want to recruit your girls when they're done playing, and we exist. Of course, he had no idea that we existed. And so I definitely want to figure out a way so that I can go. I told him that I was going to try to make a game. I haven't been able to yet, but because their season is kind of coincides with ours. And I definitely want to encourage anybody that has, I guess, go and Google if there's a girls or a college team or near y'all, go and support them. Go and support them, because we need to be recruiting them into our league once they're done with college. And I think that is huge. We got a question here.
Absolutely. Yeah. And Derby should hit up one of their games. The whole Derby team needs to roll into one of their games and then invite them out to one of y'all's, have the team come out. I mean, that's the way we're going to build. That's the way we're going to grow.
Okay. She said she really never knew women's tackle football until she saw somebody on the Basketball Wives reality show. I didn't see that. I don't watch that. But again, I'm glad that somebody is put in. Thanks, Marie, for that message, because again, however we can get the word out and the people are seeing it, especially now that I think the NCAA has, and Caitlin Clark has just totally just put the eyes on women's sports, period. And I definitely feel like we need to figure out a way to kind of capitalize on that, even for us, for the women's tackle football, because it's next. Now that, the WNBA has been around, this is year 27 for them. And this is the first time I think 4 of their teams have sold out of their season tickets because of Caitlin Clark being putting eyes on women's football, on women's basketball. But women's sports, period, I think is finally on the up and up. And I definitely want to figure out a way for us to be able to, Mr. Brown is he said, your pink hair is funky and you are rocking it. And he loves it. And every time. She's always bringing the vibe. Every time.
I gotta have a little bit of something, a little swag,
Yeah, we love the swag. We love the swag. So tell me what else, where do you want it to go? Oh, I got a question. So I know that there's multiple teams. So, and I saw something today where somebody was bragging about another team from another league was the best. Have we ever thought about maybe doing our championship pro team against their championship pro team?
For what?
No,
I mean, seriously. No, I don't. I'm part of I'm part of the this is my personal opinion.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. I'm part of the WFA, and I am very proud to be a part of the WFA. Anybody has the choice to play for whomever they choose, whatever league, fits for them and makes the most sense. I recognize the Boston Renegades as the #1 team in the world.
Absolutely.
They are a phenomenal team, and that's not to say that any other team is not. Let's be clear. I am not taking that away from any other team in the nation. Everybody's got their dogs, and everybody's got, something they can talk about. But for me, I stay in my lane. My lane is the WFA. That's what I rep. That's what I'm proud of. And my national champions are who they are. Boston Renegades right now are the #1 team in the world, as far as I am concerned, for the pro division.
Absolutely. And so so let's give their history. This is what, the 3rd or 4th year. I mean, how many in a row? Because right now they're the dynasty.
Yeah, no, I think they're coming up on 6 now.
6 years. In a row.
They need more fingers. They need more fingers for their rings.
For
Let's
their
just say
rings.
that. Uh-huh.
Okay.
Boston's a great team. They're a great team to to model after. They're a great team to try and get some mentorship out of, They work hard. They work very hard. Those players on Boston, they mean business. It's not only their passion, it's their job. They take it very serious. And, it's not a, hey, I'm going to go get in the gym 2 weeks before season's kicking off. It is a year-round job for them. And they make sure that they are in the gym, they're in their playbooks, they're doing what they need to do to be number one in the world.
Okay. And I think that what you just said is a testament to what it takes. What is it going to take to dethrone them? And if other teams aren't having that commitment, it's very difficult. So of course, as an assistant coach, I've seen some of the some of the struggles with that, with getting people to practice and the consistency, because of course we're grown women. We're wives and we're mothers and we're grandmothers and we got jobs, and how do we help, especially with you as an owner, and what is the blueprint? How do we help them to have that mindset of team? This is what it's going to take. This is what the commitment is. How do we get to that level?
Sure.
How do you manage it with your team?
Okay. So for me, I believe that it is very important to be 100% honest with your players from the gate. Not a, hey, come sign up and come play for Derby or play for the Blaze or play for whoever. We need a body. So you can be serious about football as an owner, or you can be wreck about it as an owner. It really depends on you and your mentality. For me, I'm competitive as hell. I can't stomach the thought of losing. You know what I mean? So I want to have a competitive team. I want to be around competitive players. I want to be around competitive owners with the same mindset that want to grow. And I don't mean just grow like, we had 40 players last year. I want to have 45 this year. I mean, grow mentally, physically, monetarily, all of those things for your team. So I think an area that gets like glazed over or not talked about a whole lot or anything are the expectations up front. So I create documents that say, as an example, I have one sheet on the front where it talks about what you could be in for money wise, all the things that you're going to buy with football, what that could possibly cost you. Okay. So you have all of that. A second sheet on the other side, what it actually will cost you for the things that I say you have to have, whether that's mouthpiece, helmet, cleats, all that type of stuff. So I put that together, but I think that's one of the big shockers for players is how much, what is this going to cost me and how much time do I have to put into it? Because you've got players that are okay with not going to the gym, not traveling, not being in playbooks. And then you've got teams that have 4 practices a week in person. The other 2 days, 3 days, you're expected to be in the gym. You're expected to be on Zoom calls for, playbook meetings, whatever that looks like. So I think being honest with players and putting out the expectations of your team from jump is huge, and needs to be looked at. I think owners really need to dive into that and focus on that from the beginning. And it'll help because it also weeds out those players that you might not want. If that player's like, man, I ain't going to the gym like that. Come on, man, I ain't working out. As an owner, are you willing to accept that? Is your head coach going to be okay with that? So I think being honest and communicating.
So is there like a top issue that's really just cooks your grits that just really just like, oh my God, if I can get rid of this one thing or we can fix this, whew, it would just make things easier. Is just what is your biggest opportunity that has been very difficult to fix, and that people need to, as women and as women football players, need to really, really hone in on?
Yeah, that's a tough one, man. I got a lot.
Well, go ahead.
Girl,
name them.
I got a
What
lot.
do they need to fix? What do they need to fix?
I think one of the big things that is always a problem every year for owners, and it doesn't matter what league you're in. Okay. It doesn't matter if it's men's or women's or whatever, but finding fields and, a decent stadium is very difficult. Schools are not always fond of renting to semi-pro or, anything like that, outside organizations or anything. And we want to maintain a certain level of professionalism. We have rules that we have to go by that say we have to have locker rooms. We have to have, a score booth. We have to have all of these things, a great scoreboard booth for people to sit in, locker room, showers, all these types of things. And I think that each year it has gotten harder and harder, finding those stadiums. And I really would like to find a way that we can make semi-pro not have that stigma, that has been around from earlier years, back in the day, from when the men were playing, starting up and everything. So I think that's a big issue is, making sure that people have stadiums to play at that are acceptable. That's a big one. Another thing is just basic sponsorship. And I don't mean sponsorship like $50 here for a player. I'm talking about companies and corporations recognizing who and what we are and what we bring to the table. Because if you knew what was on my plate, if you knew the meal that I prepared for you, I promise you, you're going to want to take a bite. And if you take that bite, you're going to finish your plate and you're going to want more. So we have to find a way to be able to get that in front of people and not, have people not be afraid and not be scared to knock on a door and get a rejection. That's okay. Take that rejection and grow from it. Why did you reject me? I'm going to fix that for the next one. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
So getting our name out there and showing people that we are worth the investment. And I don't mean just monetarily either. It could be, with just their marketing. It could be with just them supporting us and sending their employees to a game. It could be any type of them supporting us, but that needs to change.
The level of support is huge.
Absolutely.
And again, I think I know for me, the first time I told my husband that I was on the team, because he's been coaching for 30 years, of course. And he was intrigued, and so he kind of went to the first practice. I think the first time I took him to a practice, he kind of sat in the car, kind of just sat back. Then he got curious and he kind of got out the car. The next thing I know, he was in the middle of the field and he was helping out because he was just so intrigued. So of course he fell in love with Angie because, she was a hitter. And then after that, it was a wrap for him. So any chance he gets, he comes and helps. And, and I love that now he helps to promote. And when he's talking to coaches and other coaches are finally kind of seeing that they already knew I was coaching with him on his staff. But then when they see that I'm coaching a women's team, they're intrigued. So, my husband played for University of Kentucky, and we was just at the spring game, and we hung out with a lot of them. So of course I pulled out y'all's game from the championship when DCD played you all, and showed a couple of clips from that, and they were like, they thought it was men at first, and then when I told them this was my women's team, they were like, oh yeah, we got to come. So I'm just so excited. And sometimes that's just all it takes. It's just, that level of support. And the first thing, one of the guys, he said, oh, you guys are a nonprofit? I said, yes, we're a nonprofit. He says, there's so much money that's out there that's available for women, and for these type of things, you should really just look at it. He gave me a couple of tips on on being able to find those corporate sponsorships. So if there's anybody on here and you have the ability to sponsor one of the women's teams in your city, definitely reach out and look into that. I think one of the things that I had wanted to do was, if for the teams that are in a team that has an NFL team, I would like to. I mean, I wish I was in a pro team, because I would like to go meet the coaches' wives, like the head coaches' wives, and kind of network with them, because then that's how you kind of get to the coach.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
To bring, even if it's just a 30-second snippet at an NFL game, to be able to just say, hey, these, we have this team, which, especially with you being in Denver.
We got blessed
just being able to out on the field.
Yeah, we got blessed when we won. The Broncos reached out and they were like, hey, we want you at our game. We want to recognize y'all at our game. And so, they did a big production at halftime and pulled us all down on the field, and had all the jumbotrons and everything had all of our information and video from the game, and they really did it up and made us feel special. But even more than that, to be able to have all those kids and women sitting in the stands watching that game, and to go, wait, what?
Yes.
Wait, what? I can't tell you how many phone calls I got from people that, aren't really associated with me, but, kind of knew and said something. I even had a customer come into my job and was like, oh my God, I think I saw you at the Bronco game. And I was like, yes, you did. The hair stands out. So yeah, you never know. And you can't get better marketing than that,
you can't get better marketing than that. But I would like, it's Sunday. I mean, but I would like if they could pull you on every home game, even if it's just 5 or 6, just a quick 20. Can we get 20 seconds on the Jumbotron? Oh, by the way, we have a women's local team. Just 20 seconds. So, I don't know who we got to talk to, but
can we?
It would be nice. Can't we get 20 seconds, 10 seconds, and just put, something on a Jumbotron, or
give me 5. I'll make
5
it
seconds. Yes. Just, every home game. Can we get something every home game just to get the word out? And the recruiting. So how do you all recruit? What is the best way to recruit?
Well, obviously the best way is, players recruiting other players, getting their friends that are ballers that, want to play. We've done it all, whether it's going to colleges and reaching out to, them playing other sports, going to the rugby games and trying to get, rugby girls, which I would kill. I love rugby girls,
Absolutely.
Best tacklers ever, great attitude about everything. So yeah, we definitely hit up rugby games. We go to, whether it is a parade or, events going on in the community. Absolutely. We'll head out somewhere and I'll have a business card, and don't think if I don't see a biggin over there, you can ask Thelma. I will politely jog across a parking lot real quick and whip out a card and be like, excuse me, have you ever thought about? And it can be anywhere. I'll be in a different state and do it and hook somebody up with a local team.
Right.
So yeah, I'm all over the place. I have no shame. I will talk to anyone about playing football.
I'm the same way. Every time I come across somebody or somebody's a coach's wife, the first thing I'll ask them is, "You want to play?
Yeah.
Do you want to play?" You're like, "No."
Yeah.
I just had I was at my husband's coach's baseball, and I was at a baseball game and ran into a friend, and her daughter goes to Louisville, and I knew she went to Louisville, and both of her brothers play football. And one is getting ready to go to one of the schools in Ohio, and the other one is a sophomore, I think, this year in high school here. And the daughter, I said, "Hey, you want to play?" She said, "Yes." And so then I saw her dad. He was at practice when I had a track practice, and I said, "Hey, your daughter said that she was interested in playing football." And at first he says, "Flag." I said, "No, we're real tackle football. He said, you're dead serious. I said, I'm serious. I said she's young. I said we need a future. I said, so I need you to teach her how to be a DB, teach her how to be a quarterback, and teach her the game. I said, and I need her. She said she was interested. And I think that's just kind of, again, just what it takes, just not being afraid of opening your mouth and asking. All they can do is say no. They're either interested or they're not interested. And I've had a couple that said that they were interested. They still didn't show up to practice, and that's okay. But maybe it's just not right now. But, maybe the timing just isn't right. But you just keep being persistent with keeping it, because it's definitely something that I'm excited about. I am so excited about being a part of the WFA. Of course, Thelma is my girl. I totally fell in love with my team the day one when I showed up to practice for the first time. When I reached out and asked about being a coach, of course, she said she had to look me up because there aren't a lot of women coaches, and see whether or not I actually knew what I was talking about. And so I'd already had a couple of years under my belt of coaching football, and it's been a blast. I have just absolutely enjoyed it. And anybody that's looking, I'm telling you, go to WFA. What's our website? WFA.
You just go to WFA.com. Yeah. WFA Pro Football.
WFAProFootball.com and find a team near you. We have 63 teams across the nation. This Saturday, games, I don't know what time games will start. Ours starts, I think, at 5. There'll be a game sometime
Most
this
games
Saturday.
Start between 5 and 7.
Between 5 and 7 this Saturday, there'll be a game, and most of them are going to be televised. So if you guys see somebody posting a link, it doesn't cost you anything to just share. Help us out as far as supporting your team. If you know somebody that's coaching, if you know someone that's playing, and make sure that you guys are sharing the team. Anyway, what else?
Let me throw something in on that, because and this drives T up the wall. There are these organizations that will go on and post that they're streaming the WFA games. Okay.
Oh, the spam.
They're not. Yes, they are all spam. If you're going to watch a WFA game, make sure that you are going on to your team's page. So we'll just use Derby as an example, since this is your podcast. All right. So if you're wanting to watch Derby's game, then you're going to go on to the Derby page. You'll go on to their Facebook page or their YouTube page, and you'll find their link. Don't just click on anybody's link. A lot of them are trying to charge you. We don't charge. The WFA does not charge. Again, we do not charge to watch our games. So they're free. You can go on Roku, and there's, Women's Sports Network, FTF. There's a ton of channels.
Awesome. So you guys heard that. Do not pay to watch any of our games. So that way, if you share it, if it's definitely going to be shared on my page. As soon as I get the link, I'll be sharing it on my page so that you guys, because we are out of town this weekend. We will be in Michigan at Grand Rapids, and I think our game starts at 5. So I'll definitely be sharing that, and I think I got friends up there I'll be looking forward to. And I think I might be going through Detroit too, because we play in Detroit and we play in Columbus this year. So where all do you guys travel this year? So you're going to Nevada? Where else you guys got?
Oklahoma. Let's see. Cali is coming there. Rocky Mountain. It's going to be a good season. It's going to be fun. There's some teams out there that I'm really excited about, and I'm some matchups that I'm really excited about. I'm excited to see one of my friends, Candy. She's the new head coach for Tampa Bay Inferno, the pro team.
I tried to get her on, but we haven't been able to connect. Yes, I tried to get her on. Yes.
Long-time player transitioning into coaching. And I'm really excited for her to see what she's going to do this season. She's a great person. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I got to follow back up with her, because we kind of crossed paths, and we had it booked and then it didn't happen. So we definitely got to follow back up so we can get her on here. So how many do you off the top that you know of? How many women head coaches? I know I asked you this, but you said you really didn't know. But tell me the ones that you know that you're familiar with right off top. Women's head coaches. So Tampa.
Yeah. Well, now here's the problem is that some of them, I don't know if their title is necessarily head
Head
coach,
coach.
but they're calling a lot of the shots. So that's kind of a tough one for me. I'm sorry.
Okay.
God.
Okay, let's go with coordinators because I know no, Coach Dirty. I know she's a DC at for Atlanta Slam. Is that her
Atlanta
team?
Rage. No,
No, Rage. Sorry, Coach. Sorry, Coach.
Dirty
Atlanta
will be
Rage.
like, wait, what
I
did
know.
you
She's
just
like,
say?
Dirty, what you just call me? I'm like, who? Yeah,
Ooh.
I know. Sorry, Coach
Gosh,
Dirty.
I'm gonna actually. Here's what I'm gonna do while we're talking. I'm pulling up my contact list, and I'm gonna look through here, and I'm gonna try and roll the decks and see what I can kind of, I don't know, shout out at you. See what we can do. There's a lot of great football minds.
There are a lot of great football minds. I was definitely impressed when I went to championship weekend and I saw the All-American teams being led by women coordinators. And I was just absolutely just, yes, it just really just got me to the next, just really, really encouraged me as a female coach, because I know that I'm one of the very few. I know, like I said, I'm only the only one that I know of here in Kentucky that's on a team coaching on the school outside of like Parks and Recs or anything like that. So I was very excited to see that. And then I'm also very excited that we've had some women that have gone on to the next level from the NFL that have come out of our league.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Low Locust, Callie Brownson, Jennifer King, all the big names.
All the big names came out of our league.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. So I've pulled up the list here, and let's see, 1, 2. These are head coaches. Okay, I'm just gonna real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13, 14, 15. So I'm counting at least like 16, 17, 18, at least 20.
So we're looking at 30%.
Yeah. And then,
league, maybe?
Oh yeah. And then coordinators and all the other positions are insane. They're everywhere. But yeah, I think that, we've done pretty darn good at that, and I'm very proud of that. I'm very proud of the diversity that we have in our league. Not just male, female, but just all over the board. It's pretty amazing to be able to take a look at our players and see all the different walks of life, and even our coaches.
I love it. I think one of my goals, and I told someone, I said, I hope that I'm around when, I can watch a game or I can be a coach of a game where I see 2 women's teams being led by an all-female staff with an all-female officiating crew.
Yep. I'm with you on that. I'm with you.
I would
Stay
love
tuned.
to see that. Yes.
Stay tuned.
I would love to see that.
That's all I'm going to say.
Yes. And I think I think it's going to happen, here pretty soon. I think we're going to make it happen. So, well, we can go ahead and start wrapping this up. What else do we need to know about the WFA or your team or you?
Oh, you don't need to know nothing about me other than the fact that I love football and this is my passion. But as far as, to know about the league, I speak for myself, and I'm very proud of this league. I'm proud of what we do on a daily basis. I'm proud of the fact that our players mean a lot to us, that we're not out here to make big money. We're not here to do all that kind of stuff. We are here to support our players and to grow the sport of football and to create a path for, girls that are playing right now that don't see the option later. We're creating that path for them to be able to do that. I'm thrilled about the WFA futures, the young kids that have come out the last several years to Canton and participated in our camp. I can't tell you how excited I am to see these girls play in the WFA in a few years, that's when it's like, man, all the hard work and the things that we've been doing, this is where it's paying off. This is where we're starting to see the return. You know what I mean? And
Yes.
where we're making a difference. So I'm really proud of that. I'm really proud of what we do. I'm proud of the fact that, you know, we go out into the community and that we're working in the community. We're not just playing football. We're building homes in the community. We're doing blood drives. We're doing things to better our community. And it's not just about us. So I think that I think we're pretty darn exceptional.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I can't say enough about how proud I am to be, you know, a part of it. You know, I love my owner. I love my team, and just being able to coach them is just absolutely phenomenal. And I think my biggest takeaway from it is the fact that it's pay to play.
Mm-hmm.
It's a sacrifice. You know,
Mm-hmm.
being a mom, being a wife, being a grandmother, working
Just being,
job,
period.
just being a woman, period, and everything
Mhm.
that entails with being a woman and those hardships
Mhm.
of being a woman, because things still are not equal for us.
Oh no.
Which is why we need our own, why we had to have our, of course we have our own league. I definitely don't believe that women need to be playing in a men's league, because physically it just can't happen. And so I'm so thankful that someone created, or Lisa and them created a league. Can you tell me what's league? Can you tell me? I didn't get a chance to have Lisa on today because happy birthday to Jeff, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because my husband's birthday was yesterday. So happy birthday to Jeff, our co-owner. So what made Lisa start the league? What's her story? Because I can't wait to have her and Jeff on.
Oh, now you're gonna have to ask Lisa that. I think Lisa has done the same thing. I think her mentality is kind of the same, providing, women and youth and everyone an opportunity. She saw the need. She's an athlete. Lisa is a phenomenal athlete. Her original sport is soccer. She's a collegiate soccer player. I think she played internationally as well. So at the high level. And then she was a great football player too. People look at Lisa and wouldn't I guess necessarily think that haven't met her. She's pushing, I don't know, she might tell you she's 5'4" or something, but I'm saying
I ran through it on the elevator and somebody told me that. I said, she's what? Yeah,
she's tiny.
She's a little video thing.
She's a tiny petite thing, but do not get it twisted.
Right.
She can catch, she can run, she can hit, she has no fear, So I think she started that, and then giving us a place and having that vision, but it's just grown from there tremendously. And I'm so grateful that she's given us this space and this opportunity.
Absolutely.
Again, one of my best friends, a brilliant mind, and she cares about our players and about the owners and about this league and about the game. So, we're pretty blessed to be led by someone like her. That's for sure.
Absolutely. I mean, just had to be a lot of guts. So I definitely, my hands definitely applaud her, because it takes to start a league. From scratch. I mean, it's literally from scratch, because you have no blueprint. So she had to be the blueprint, and you had to create the blueprint. And thankful for people like you and my owner that are on our board that kind of help to spearhead that as well too, because you guys play a whole part of it, being a part of the board. It's got to be very difficult, and you guys are making some very, very difficult decisions, but you guys got us going in the right direction. And I appreciate you all, and I thank you for coming on. Thank you for telling us your story. I appreciate you so much. I can't wait to see you. I probably won't see you again until championship weekend.
No, girl, you'll see me before then. You'll probably see me at your game in Columbus. Yeah.
Oh, Columbus. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
so I'm looking forward to that. So I can't wait to see you then. And thank you again. Hey, Burmy, thank you for coming on. Coach Dirty, thank you for coming on. Mr. Brown, thank you for coming on. My daughter, Jalen. anybody else that came on. We appreciate you all coming on. Make sure you go to WFA profootball.com. Look up to see if you have a local team, women's team near you, so that you can go and support them. You should be able to have a direct access to their schedule and where they're going to play. Go to the local pages. Go to WFA Pro Football, our YouTube. We got a YouTube, right? We have a YouTube,
like YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, you name it,
all of those. Please go and follow all of those, and you'll be able to get access to all the rest of the teams. Of course, Derby City Dynamite. You guys know, you guys can continue to follow my page, and I'm definitely going to share us. We played this weekend, and our first home game in Louisville at Holy Cross is May the 11th. At 5 o'clock.
Well, so let me tell you, thank you, Coach. Thanks for doing this. Thanks for having the podcast and for, continually spreading the word about women's football and the positivity behind it and about our amazing league. I appreciate that very much. And, any chance I get that I can tell a coach, thank you for giving your time, your talents, your money, your effort, all of that to the players on your team. I know what that's like. I know how much time that takes. I know what it costs, mentally, physically, all of it. So thank you very much. On behalf of the WFA, we appreciate you coaching.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Thank you. Well, I look forward to connecting with Brian Sweeney here pretty soon and sharing everything with him. I can't wait to get off so I can share what Bernie talked about with some of the other teams for the matchup. So guys, look forward to the matchups for this weekend. I'm getting ready to be to share them on my Hits and Heels page. You'll be able to find them all there. And with that being said, it's a wrap for tonight. We'll see you all next week.
Thanks, everybody.
Hold on tight. Thank y'all. Love y'all. If I can end this.